Today we are interviewing Franklin D. Roosevelt. Hi, Franklin.
How you doing? You can call me Teddy for short.
I don't think that's the right Roosevelt, but okay, Teddy. Today I wanted to ask you a few things. First about your first New Deal. Could you tell me some of the goals that you had with that?
Well, I had three. I called them the triple R's. It was relief, recovery, and reform. I had to give relief for all the sufferers of the Great Depression. I had to recover the economy. That was going downhill real fast. And I had to reform. I would not allow another depression to come about.
I see. And you pushed for this during something called the First 100 Days. Many reform programs seem to be formed during this time. Is that correct?
Yes. Such as like the TVA.
Yes, TVA. That's what I was getting to. This was created in May of 1933, right?
That is correct.
What did it do for us, and where was it?
Well, and around the Tennessee River Valley, it developed some resources for you guys. And in a little bit of the region in the southeast U.S., it also helped build dams.
I see.
It covered most of Tennessee, Alabama, Mississippi, and Kentucky.
Okay. The Roosevelt recession, I'm not exactly sure what this means. Can you elaborate on that?
Well, I could try. It was around a period between around 1937 to about 1938. It was around when the economic recovery, sorry about that. It was about when the economic recovery from the Great Depression temporarily stalled. We didn't want it to stall, but, it just happened. It lasted about 13 months. That's a year and a month for you if you all don't know.
Thank you.
The unemployment rate jumped from it was like 14%. It jumped up to 19%. It was the first increase since I took office, I'll tell you that.
And how do you feel about that?
Well, I didn't know dear to like it.
I see. That is some interesting vocabulary you have there, Franklin.
Well, thank you.
Sorry.
You can call me Teddy, as I said.
Yes, I apologize, Teddy.
Excuse me, Teddy. I'll hate to ask why, but why is there a cowbell in your chest?
Indeed.
Well, as you see, I'm a skeleton. I got resurrected about 4 months ago because I knew there was questions about me that needed to be answered. No one else could answer them because I'm me.
And
no one else is me.
That's why you're joining us today, yes?
That is what I'm doing you today.
Oh, well, okay.
The cowbell is my heart, by the way, if you didn't know.
Why are you missing a leg?
Why are you missing a leg?
That's a good question.
Well, I had a disease at one point called polio.
Oh, I see.
Oh, speaking about polio, I have a story about my best friend Ben Polio I got to tell you in a bit.
Well, maybe we can get to that later, but right now that is all the time that we have, so we will join you next time. Teddy.
Oh, thank you.
Okay, hello viewers and welcome back to I don't even know what channel this is news. Now, we had to change reporter because of the bloody coup.
That was fun.
Viva la resistance. Now, Franklin, how are you enjoying Undeath?
Well, it's pretty good for now. I got to saw one of these big old TVs.
Were TVs even around in your time?
Yeah, they were around. They just weren't the most spectacular things. They're big boxes. Now you got these old flat things.
I'm fairly certain we have a very confused FDR. I think the resurrection might have messed with his brain.
Excuse me, my name's Teddy.
I rest my case.
Yeah. Okay, anyway,
So
where were
Teddy.
you born?
Well, I was born in a place called Hyde Park. It's in New York.
Interesting.
Yeah, I heard it's this pretty cool historic site now. I was gonna attend it, but, I guess I can't. I'm kind of a walking something or other.
Yeah, you might run into a couple conspiracy zombie nuts trying to shoot you, but
Or
that's
wanting
just
your
life.
autograph.
So, where'd you go to college?
Well, I went to college in two places. I went to Harvard University. That place is super expensive. Don't go there. I also went to Columbia Law School.
Very boring.
I only know the first 6 amendments.
Very boring indeed.
Okay, then. What's another good question? Any noteworthy accomplishments you'd like to mention? Perhaps things you did as president.
Well, when I was president, there was a date, December 7th in 1941. That reminds me a little bit of something. It's Pearl Harbor. That's where it was. The Japanese, they came flying in these little planes, and they started bombing Pearl Harbor. I directed the organization of the nation's manpower, and I was also funded for the resources for global war.
Huh.
Cool.
Interesting. How about unemployment? Didn't you take that from like 25 to 2%?
It was around 2%, yes.
That's...
How did you manage that?
Well, I gave people jobs.
Okay.
Well, what kind of jobs?
Well, I told him, you're going to sit in this factory, you're going to work, you're going to make about 13 cents an hour. They're still working. They didn't talk back to the president. No one ever does.
That would make sense. Now, I think he happens to be quite a bit confused, and that's all the time we have anyway. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have to go deal with the rest of my coworkers.
Me too.